Hi, Tom here, aka Gentleman Grim. In today's video I'm taking a look at Maker's Mark Bourbon Whisky. So Maker's Mark Bourbon has a mash bill for the grains used, so unlike a single malt whisky from Scotland where it's made from 100% malted barley, bourbon can be made up of a mixture of different grains, but it has to contain a minimum of 51% corn. Now in the case of Maker's Mark Bourbon, they actually use 70% corn, 14% malted barley. They use 16% red winter wheat, which they say imparts a sweeter note at the front of the palate with this bourbon. Now they don't use any rye at all, so this is going to be a lot sweeter than some of the other bourbons out there which use rye, which adds spicy notes to the mix. Now because Maker's Mark is a bourbon, we know that there's no added colour in it. It's also non-chill filtered, and it's bottled at 45% ABV or 90 proof. Now they don't have an age statement on the bottle for this. Having a quick look on their website, they say that they don't bottle it just at a set age, they do it based on taste, but it's usually about 6 to 7 years old. So on the nose with this one, it is 45% ABV, 90 proof, which isn't that high, but it's higher than the sort of minimum of 40% ABV. And if you've just freshly poured this, you can sometimes get a bit of that ethanol burn, but it does dissipate quite quickly if you just leave it to sit for a little bit and air for a short time in the glass. Now on the nose, you're getting these sweet notes straight away. So the vanilla's there, which is very characteristic of bourbon, but you're also getting those, again, characteristic bourbon notes with the corn and the sweetness that comes from that. There's also a touch of fruit to this. I go as far as saying strawberries, which is an unusual one for me to pick up on a bourbon. Normally strawberries are characteristic of something like a sherry cask finished whisky. So let's dive into the palate. Slange. So on the palate, again you're getting that sweetness, you're getting that vanilla. I'm getting butterscotch on there as well. Makes me think of Werther's Originals. Surprisingly, because there is no rye in the mash bill, you wouldn't expect there to be any real spice in this, but there is a bit of spice there. There is a little bit of a kick to it. I'm going to assume that's come from the oak. There's also a touch of smoke in there, and that'll come from the barrel charring. They use a level 3 barrel char, I believe, on Maker's Mark. So it does add that little bit of smoke in there as well. I'd also say it's got a bit of nuttiness to it. Touch of almonds in there, maybe hazelnuts as well. Then on the finish, you're definitely getting that nuttiness in there. Again, you're getting a bit of that smoke from the barrel char. Not getting any fruitiness on the finish like we got on the nose. And in fact, I didn't really get the fruit on the palate either. Maybe a touch of chocolate in there as well on the finish with that one. Thank you for watching. If you've liked this video, please hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell to stay updated with future videos. A mash bill for the grain. Oh, I've been looking all place. Look at the lens. I'm taking a look at Maker's Mark Bourbon Whisky. They actually use 70% corn. What else do they use? 14%. And 16% something else. I know it's wheat. What kind of wheat? What kind of wheat? What kind of wheat? For fuck's sake. That's one. Red winter wheat. Okay. And if you haven't already, please subscribe and hit the bell. And